From NBC News, this is Meet the Press with Garrick Utley.
The Democrats. Fact one, they command a clear majority in Congress, the House and Senate. Fact two, if all of them voted together, they would be the dominant force in government, despite a Republican in the White House. Fact three, they don't, and so they are not. Here again, you have a situation where the more affluent elderly are making the noise and getting results. You're not hearing a reaction from low-income people, middle-income people who may lose something on this program. They're not speaking up. What does this say about the way our society and governance is working today?
There's nothing new about that, Garrick. That's been the case for over 200 years in our history, and what leadership involves is attempting to discern what is in the national interest, not just based upon the volume of voices that are heard in the Capitol itself. We have to try to determine what is in the best interest of the country, taking into account all conflicting views, but there's nothing new about it.
But here you are reacting to the voices in terms of catastrophic health coverage. You are clearly reacting to those voices.
Oh, indeed we are, because that also is part of democracy, that it's representative in nature, and you do attempt to deal with the problems as they arise, both in terms of the substance of the problems and the political context in which they arise. And what I hope is that we can arrive at a middle ground that will preserve the basic benefits of the program.
The Soviet Union, whatever it is or is going to become, is no longer a world superpower of the past. There is now one superpower, that is the United States. Coming back to the Persian Gulf and the exercise of our political and military and economic power, do you think we have overreached or are overreaching in the Gulf, Ambassador?
I don't think so. I don't think so. You know, you don't know how this ends until it ends.
But as of right now, are you worried at all? Do you have concerns?
I have concern about how much this Gulf exercise is costing us, quite frankly, economically, just in dollars and cents and balance of payments and deficits. I worry about what it costs us to keep that many troops that far away from home.
Aside from the dollars and cents, Dr. Brzezinski, is there a danger that we are overreaching?
You know, I would put it this way. I have the strong suspicion that when someday historians analyze this crisis, they'll say that it has involved a classical case of an underreaction leading to an overreaction. That is to say, initially, we ignored Saddam Hussein's ambitions, we were complacent, we accommodated him, and then when he moved, we in shock overreacted. Because I think we did many right things, but we have overpackaged it, we have over-emotionalized it, we have over-Americanized it.
Coming back finally, a quick question about the Supreme Court nomination. The President's very important decision coming up. Again, he has said he wants the court to reflect the representative of the American body politic. Do you think that it can be reflective of that body politic, this nation, without having a minority on the court?
Well, I think what this president has said is that he doesn't...
What do you think?
I think you appoint individuals. We hope people of intellect, character, and judicial integrity, and it is a mistake to approach it from the point of view of looking at particular categories. Justice Marshall said that in his valedictory. He said quite clearly that you should not make these appointments on the basis of race or any other characteristic. And I wholeheartedly agree that the president has the obligation to look for a person who has the kind of sensitivity that can enable them to reflect the broad diversity of this society. And that means that he's going to look, as this president is, at a pool of prospective nominees that includes broad representatives of this society.
Imagine this. Imagine it is 2 years ago, November 1988, and someone tells you, a year from now, the Berlin Wall will be open and communism will be dead. You probably would have laughed. Imagine it is 1 year ago, November 1989, and as we watch people move freely through the Berlin Wall, someone tells you, you know, a year from now there will be more than 200,000 Americans in the Persian Gulf, more on the way, and there may be war. Who would believe that? Well, given that, can we even begin to imagine what we will be experiencing or saying a year from today? Perhaps there will be peace and gasoline prices will be down to $1.20 a gallon. But if there is war, and if it is costly to our side, then will we be saying, remember November 1990? Did we really know what we were getting into? Did we really think it through? Nations, like individuals, want to control their destiny, but they rarely do. An American president once said, quote, I claim not to have controlled events, but confess plainly that events have controlled me. That was Abraham Lincoln at the end of the Civil War. He and the nation paid a high price to learn that lesson. I'm Garrick Utley. I hope you'll join us again next week for Sunday Today and Meet the Press.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.